Chapter 35. Ready to tell me what kind of outing this is? Reba McLean asked Dollarhide on Saturday morning when they had ridden in silence for 10 minutes. She hoped it was a picnic. The van stopped. She heard Dollarhide roll down his window. Dollarhide, he said. Dr. Warfield left my name. Yes, sir. Would you put this under your wiper when you leave the vehicle? They moved forward slowly. Reba felt a gentle curve in the road, strange and heavy odors on the wind. An elephant trumpeted. The zoo, she said. Traffic. She would have preferred a picnic. What the hell, this was okay. Who's Dr. Warfield? The zoo director. He a friend of yours? No, we did the zoo a favor with the film. They're paying back. How? You get to touch the tiger. Don't surprise me too much. Did you ever look at a tiger? She was glad he could ask the question. No, I remember a puma when I was little. That's all they had at the zoo in Red Deer. I think we better talk about this. They're working on the tiger's tooth. They have to put him to sleep. If you want to, you can touch him. Will it be a crowd? People waiting? No, no audience. Warfield, me, a couple of people. TV's coming in after we leave. Want to do it? An odd urgency in the question. Yeah, Fuzzy, yes I do. Thank you. That's a fine surprise. The van stopped. Well, how do I know he's asleep? Tickle him. If he laughs, run for it. The floor of the treatment room felt like linoleum under Reba's shoes. The room was cool with large echoes. Radiant heat was coming from the far side. A rhythmic shuffling of burdened feet, and Dollarhide guided her to one side until she felt the forked pressure of a corner. It was in here now. She could smell it. A voice. Easy now, easy down. Can we leave the sling under him, Dr. Warfield? Yeah, wrap that cushion in one of the green towels and put it under his head. I'll send John for you when we've finished. Footsteps leaving. She waited for Dollarhide to tell her something. He didn't. It's in here, she said. 10 men carried it on a sling. It's big, 10 feet. Dr. Warfield's listening to its heart. Now he's looking under one eyelid. Here he comes. A body damped the noise in front of her. Dr. Warfield. Reba McLean. Dollarhide said. She held out her hand. A large, soft hand took it. Thanks for letting me come, she said. It's a treat. Glad you could come. Enlivens my day. We appreciate the film, by the way. Dr. Warfield's voice was middle-aged, deep, cultured, black. Virginia, she guessed. We're waiting to be sure his respiration and heartbeat are strong and steady before Dr. Hassler starts. Hassler's over there adjusting his head mirror. Just between us, he only wears it to hold down his toupee. Come meet him, Mr. Dollarhide. You go ahead. She put out her hand to Dollarhide. The pat was slow in coming, light when it came. His palm left sweat on her knuckles. Dr. Warfield placed her hand on his arm, and they walked forward slowly. You sound asleep. Do you have a general impression? I'll describe as much as you like. He stopped, uncertainly how to put it. I remember pictures in books when I was a child, and I saw a puma once in a zoo near home. This tiger's like a super puma, he said. Deeper chest, more massive head, and a heavier frame and musculature. He's about 4-year-old male Bengal. He's about 10 feet long, from his nose to the tip of his tail. And he weighs 815 pounds. He's lying on his right side under bright lights. I can feel the lights. He's striking, orange and black stripes. The orange is so bright it seems almost to bleed into the air around him. Suddenly, Dr. Warfield feared that it was cruel to talk of colors. A glance at her face reassured him. He's 6 feet away. Can you smell him? Yes. Mr. Dollarhide may have told you. Some dimwit poked at him through the barrier in one of our gardener's spades. He snapped off the long fang on the upper left side of the blade. Okay, Dr. Hassler? He's fine. We'll give it another minute or two. Warfield introduced a dentist to Reba. My dear, you're the first pleasant surprise I've ever had from Frank Warfield, Hassler said. You might like to examine this. It's a gold tooth. Fang, actually. He put it in her hand. Heavy, isn't it? I cleaned the broken tooth and took an impression several days ago, and today I'll cap it with this one. I could have done it in white, of course, but I thought this would be more fun. Dr. Warfield will tell you I never pass up an opportunity to show off. He's too considerate to let me put an advertisement on the cage. She felt the taper curve and point with her sensitive, battered fingers. What nice piece of work. She heard deep, slow breathing nearby. It'll give Kitz a start when he yawns, Hassler said. I don't think it'll tempt any thieves. Now for the fun. You're not apprehensive, are you? Your muscular gentleman over there is watching us like a ferret. He's not making you do this. No, I want to. We're facing his back, Dr. Warfield said. He's just sleeping away about 2.5 feet from you, waist high on a work table. Tell you what, I'll put your left hand, you're right-handed, aren't you? I'll put your left hand on the edge of the table and you can explore with your right. Take your time. I'll be right here beside you. So will I, Dr. Hassler said. They were enjoying this. Under the hot lights, his hair smelled like fresh sawdust in the sun. Reba could feel the heat on top of her head. It made her scalp tingle. She could smell her warm hair, Warfield's soap, alcohol and disinfectant, and the cat. She felt a touch of faintness quickly over. She gripped the edge of the table and reached out tentatively until her fingers touched tips of fur, warm from the lights, a cooler layer, and then deep, steady warmth from below. She flattened her hand on the thick coat and moved it gently, feeling the fur slide across her palm. With and against the lay, felt the hide side over the wide ribs as they rose and fell. She grouped the pelt and fur sprang between her fingers. In the very presence of the tiger, her face grew pink and she lapsed into blind-isms. Inappropriate facial movements she schooled herself against. Warfield and Hassler saw her forget herself and were glad. They saw her through a wavy window, a pane of new sensation she pressed her face against. As he watched from the shadows, the great muscles in Dollarhide's back quivered. A drop of sweat bounced down his ribs. The other side's all business, Dr. Warfield said close to her ear. He led her around the table, her hand trailing down the tail. A sudden constriction in Dollarhide's chest as her fingers trailed over the furry testicles. She cupped them and moved on. Warfield lifted the great paw and put it in her hand. She felt the roughness of the pads and smelled faintly the cage floor. He pressed a toe to make a claw slide out. The heavy, supple muscles of the shoulders filled her hands. She felt the tiger's ears, the width of his head, and carefully the veterinarian guided her, touched the roughness of its tongue. Hot breath stirred in the air on her forearms. Last, Dr. Warfield put the stethoscope in her ears. Her hands on the rhythmic chest, her face upturned, she was filled with the tiger's heart's bright thunder. Reba McLean was quiet, flushed, elated as they drove away. She turned to Dollarhide once and said slowly, "Thank you, very much. If you don't mind, I would dearly love a martini." "Wait here a minute," Dollarhide said as he parked in his yard. She was glad they hadn't gone back to her apartment. It was stale and safe. "Don't tidy up. Take me in and tell me it's neat." "Wait here." He carried in the sack from the liquor store and made a fast inspection tour. He stopped in the kitchen and stood for a moment with his hands over his face. He wasn't sure what he was doing. He felt danger, but not from the woman. He couldn't look up the stairs. He had to do something and he didn't know how. He should take her back home. Before his becoming, he would not have dared any of this. Now he realized he could do anything. Anything. He came outside into the sunset, into the long blue shadow of the van. Reba McLean held on to his shoulders until her foot touched the ground. She felt the loom of the house. She sensed its height in the echo of the van door closing. 4 steps on the grass, then there's a ramp, he said. She took his arm, a tremor through him, clean perspiration and cotton. "You do have a ramp. What for?" "Old people were here. Not now, though." "No." "It feels cool and tall," she said in the parlor. "Museum air. Was that incense?" A clock ticked far away. "It's a big house, isn't it? How many rooms?" 14. "It's old. Things in here are old." She brushed against the fringed lampshade and touched it with her fingers. Shy Mr. Dollarhide. She was perfectly aware that it excited him to see her with the tiger. He had shuddered like a horse when she took his arm leaving the treatment room. An elegant gesture, his arranging that. Maybe eloquent as well, she wasn't sure. "Martini?" "Let me go with you and do it," she said, taking off her shoes. She flicked vermouth from her finger into the glass, 2.5 ounces of gin on top, and 2 olives. She picked the points of reference quickly in the house, the ticking clock, the hum of a window air conditioner. There was a warm place on the floor near the kitchen door where the sunlight had fallen through the afternoon. He took her to his big chair. He sat on the couch. There was a charge in the air, like fluorescence in the sea. It limed movement. She found a place for her drink on the stand beside her. He put on music. To Dollarhide, the room seemed changed. She was the first voluntary company he had ever had in the house, and now the room was divided into her part and his. There was the music, the pussy, as the light faded. He asked her about Denver. She told him a little, absently, as though she thought of something else. He described the house and the big hedged yard. There wasn't much need to talk. In the silence while he changed records, she said, "That Waterford Tiger, this house, we're just full of surprises, Dee. I don't think anybody knows you at all." "Did you ask them?" "Who?" "Anybody." No." "Then how do you know that nobody knows me?" His concentration on the tongue twister kept the tone of the question neutral. "Oh, some of the women from Gateway saw us getting into your van the other day. Boy, were they curious. All of a sudden I have company at the Coke machine." "What do they want to know?" "They just wanted some juicy gossip. When they found out there isn't any, they went away. They were just fishing." "And what did they say?" She had meant to make the women's avid curiosity into humor directed at herself. It was not working out that way. "They wonder about everything," she said. "They find you very mysterious and interesting. Well, it's a compliment." "Did they tell you how I look?" The question was spoken lightly. Very well done, but Reba knew that nobody is ever kidding. She met it head on. "Well, I didn't ask him, but yes, they told me how they think you look. Want to hear it, verbatim? Don't ask if you don't." She was sure he would ask. No reply. Suddenly Reba felt she was alone in the room, that the place where he stood was emptier than empty, a black hole swallowing everything and emanating nothing. She knew he could not have left without her hearing him. "Oh, I think I'll tell you," she said. "You have a kind of hard, clean neatness that they like. They say you have a remarkable body." Clearly, she couldn't have leave it at that. "They say you're very sensitive about your face, and that you shouldn't be. Okay, here's the dippy one with the denting. Is it Eileen?" "Eileen." Return signal. She felt like a radio astronomer. Reba was an excellent mimic. She could have reproduced Eileen's speech with startling fidelity, but she was too wise to mimic anyone's speech for Dollarhide. She quoted Eileen as though she read from a transcript. "He's not a bad-looking guy. Honest to God, I've gone out with lots of guys that didn't look good. I went out with a hockey player one time, played for the Blues. He had a little dip in his lip where the gum shrank back from his bridge. They all have that, hockey players. It's kind of, macho, I think. I said he's got the nicest skin and what I wouldn't give for his hair. Satisfied? Oh, and she asked me if you're as strong as you look. And I said I don't know." She drained her glass and got up. "Where the hell are you anyway, Dee?" She knew when he moved between her and a stereo speaker. Here you are. Do you want to know what I think about it?" She found his mouth with her fingers and kissed it, lightly pressing his lips against his clenched teeth. She registered instantly that it was shyness, not distaste, that held him rigid. He was astonished. "How would you tell me where the bathroom is?" She took his arm and went with him down the hall. "I can find my own way back." In the bathroom, she patted her hair and ran her fingers along the top of the basin, hunting toothpaste or mouthwash. She tried to find the door of the medicine cabinet and found there was no door, only hinges and exposed shelves. She touched the objects on them carefully, leery of a razor, until she found a bottle. She took off the cap, smelled to verify mouthwash, and swished some around. When she returned to the parlor, she heard a familiar sound, the whir of a projector rewinding. "I have a little homework to do," Dollarhide said, handing her a fresh martini. "Sure," she said. She didn't know how to take it. "If I'm keeping you from working, I'll go. Will a cab come up here?" "No, I want you to be here. I do. It's just some film I need to check. It won't take long." He started to take her to the big chair. She knew where the couch was. She went to it instead. "Does it have a soundtrack?" "No." "Will I keep up the music?" She felt his attention. He wanted her to stay. He was just frightened. He shouldn't be. All right. She sat down. The martini was wonderfully cold and crisp. He sat at the other end of the couch, his weight clinking the ice in her glass. The projector was still rewinding. "I think I'll stretch out for a few minutes if you don't mind," she said. Oh, don't move. I have plenty of room. Let me have a bite drop-off, okay? She lay on the couch, holding the glass in her stomach. The tips of her hair just touched his hand beside his thigh. He flicked the remote switch and the film began. Dolarhyde had wanted to watch his Leeds film or his Jacoby film with this woman in the room. He wanted to look back and forth from the screen to Reba. He knew she would never survive that. The woman saw her getting into his van. Don't even think about that. The woman saw her getting into the van. He would watch his film on the Shermans, the people he would visit next. He would see the promise of relief to come, and do it in Reba's presence, looking at her all he liked. On the screen, the new house spelled in pennies on a short cardboard. A long shot of Mrs. Sherman and the children. Fun in the pool. Mrs. Sherman holds the ladder and looks up at the camera, bosom swelling, shining wet above her suit, pale legs scissoring. Dolarhyde was proud of his self-control. He would think of this film, not the other one. But in his mind, he began to speak to Mrs. Sherman, as he had spoken to Valerie Leeds in Atlanta. You see me now, yes? That's how you feel to see me, yes. Fun with old clothes. Mrs. Sherman has the wide hat on. She's before the mirror. She turns with an arch smile and strikes a pose for the camera, her hand at the back of her neck. There's a cameo at her throat. Reba McClane stirs on the couch. She sets her glass on the floor. Dolarhyde feels a weight and warmth. She has rested her head on his thigh. The nape of her neck is pale, and the movie light plays on it. He sits very still, moves only his thumb to stop the film, back it up. On the screen, Mrs. Sherman poses before the mirror in the hat. She turns to the camera and smiles. You see me now, yes. That's how you feel to see me, yes. Do you feel me now? Yes. Dolarhyde is trembling. His trousers are mashing him so hard. He feels heat. He feels warm breath through the cloth. Reba has made a discovery. Convulsively, his thumb works a switch. You see me now. That's how you feel to see me. Do you feel this? Yes. Reba has unzipped his trousers. A stab of fear in him. He's never been erect before in the presence of a living woman. He is the dragon. He doesn't have to be afraid. Busy fingers spring him free. Oh. Do you feel me now? Do you feel this? You do. I know it, yes. Your heart is loud, yes. He must keep his hands off Reba's neck, keeping them off. The woman saw them in the van. His hand is squeezing the arm of the couch. His fingers pop through the upholstery. Your heart is loud and fluttering now. It's fluttering now. It's trying to get out. And now it's quick and light and quicker and light and gone. Oh, gone. Reba rests her head on his thigh and turns her gleaming cheek to him. She runs her hand inside his shirt and rests it warm on his chest. Well, I hope it didn't shock you, she said. It was the sound of her living voice that shocked him, and he felt to see if her heart was going, and it was. She held his hand there gently. My goodness, you're not through yet, are you? A living woman, how bizarre. Filled with power, the dragon's or his own, he lifted her from the couch easily. She weighed nothing, so much easier to carry because she wasn't limp. Not upstairs, not upstairs. Hurrying now, somewhere, quick. Grandmother's bed, a satin comforter sliding under them. Oh wait, I'll get him off. Ah, now it's torn. I don't care. Come on. My God, man, that's so sweet. Please don't hold me down. Let me come up to you and take it. With Reba, his only living woman, held with her in his one bubble skin of time, he felt for the first time that it was all right. If it was his life he was releasing, himself past all mortality that he was sending into her starry darkness, away from this pain planet, ringing harmonic distances away to peace and the promise of rest. Beside her in the dark, he put his hand on her and pressed her together gently to seal the way back. As she slept, Dolarhyde damned Murder of 11, listened time and time again to her heart. Images, Baroque pearls flying through the friendly dark, a very pistol he had fired at the moon, a great firework he saw in Hong Kong called The Dragon Sows His Pearls. The dragon. He felt stunned, cloven, and all the long night beside her he listened, fearful for himself coming down on the stairs on the kimono. She stirred once in the night, searching sleepily until she found his bedside glass. Grandmother's teeth rattled in it. Dolarhyde brought her water. She held him on the dark. When she slept again, he took her hand off his great tattoo and put it on his face. He slept hard at dawn. Reba McLean woke at 9 and heard his steady breathing. She stretched lazily in his big bed. He didn't stir. She reviewed the layout of the house, the order of the rugs and floor, the direction of the ticking clock. When she had it straight, she rose quietly and found the bathroom. After her long shower, he was asleep. Her torn underclothes were on the floor. She found them with her feet and stuffed them in her purse. She pulled her cotton dress over her head, picked up her cane, and walked outside. He had told her the yard was large and level, bounded by hedges grown wild, but she was cautious at first. The morning breeze was cool, the sun warm. She stood in the yard and let the wind toss the seed heads of the elderberry through her hands. The wind found the creases of her body, fresh from the shower. She raised her arms to it, and the wind blew cool beneath her breasts and arms and between her legs. Bees went by. She was not afraid of them, and they left her alone. Dolarhyde woke, puzzled for an instant because he was not in his room upstairs. His yellow eyes grew wide as he remembered, an owlish turn of his head to the other pillow. Empty. Was she wandering around the house? What might she find? Or had something happened in the night? Something to clean up? He would be suspected. He might have to run. He looked in the bathroom, in the kitchen, down in the basement where his other wheelchair stood, the upper floor. He didn't want to go upstairs. He had to look. His tattoo flexed as he climbed the stairs. The dragon glowed at him from the picture in his bedroom. He could not stay in the room with the dragon. From an upstairs window, he spotted her in the yard. Francis. He knew the voice from his room. He knew it from the voice, and it was the voice of the dragon. This new twanness of the dragon disoriented him. He first felt it when he put his hand on Reba's heart. The dragon had never spoken to him before. It was frightening. Francis, come here. He tried to shut out the voice calling him as he hurried down the stairs. What could she have found? Grandmother's teeth had rattled in the glass, but he put them away when he brought her water. She couldn't see anything. Freddie's tape. It was in a cassette recorder in the parlor. He checked it. The cassette was rewound to the beginning. He can remember if he had rewound it after he played it on the telephone to the tattler. She must not have come back in the house. He didn't know what might happen in the house. She might get a surprise. The dragon might come down. He knew how easily she would tear. The women saw her getting in the van. Warfield would remember them together. Hurriedly he dressed. Reba McLean felt the cool bark of a tree trunk's shadow, and then the sun again as she wandered across the yard. She could always tell where she was by the heat of the sun and the hum of the window air conditioner. Navigation, her life's discipline, was easy here. She turned around and around, trailing her hands on the shrubs and overgrown flowers. A cloud blocked the sun and she stopped, not knowing which direction she faced. She listened for the air conditioner. It was off. She felt a moment of uneasiness, then clapped her hands and heard the reassuring echo from the house. Reba flipped up her watch crystal and felt the time. She'd have to wake Dee soon. She needed to go home. The screen door slammed. "Good morning," she said. His keys tinked as he came across the grass. He approached her cautiously, as though the wind of his coming might blow her down, and saw that she was not afraid of him. She didn't seem embarrassed or ashamed of what they had done in the night. She didn't seem angry. She didn't run from him or threaten him. He wondered if it was because she had not seen his private parts. Reba put her arms around him and laid her head on his hard chest. His heart was going fast. He managed to say good morning. "I've had a really terrific time, Dee." "Really? What would somebody say back?" "Good. Me too." That seemed all right. Get her away from here. "But I need to go home now," she was saying. "My sister's coming by to pick me up for lunch. You could come too if you like." "I have to go to the plant," he said, modifying the lie he had ready. "I'll go get my purse." "Oh no. I'll get it." Almost blind to his own true feelings, no more able to express them than a scar could blush, Dolarhyde did not know what had happened to him with Reba McLean, or why. He was confused, spiked with new fright at being two. She threatened him. She did not threaten him. There was the matter of her startling live moments of acceptance in grandmother's bed. Often Dolarhyde did not find out what he felt until he acted. He did not know how he felt toward Reba McLean. An ugly instant as he drove her home enlightened him a little. Just past the Lindbergh Boulevard exit off Interstate 70, Dolarhyde pulled into a Servco Supreme station to fill his van. The attendant was a heavy-set, sullen man with a multi-kill on his neck. He made a face when Dollarhide asked him to check the oil. The van was a quart low. The attendant jammed the oil spout into the can and stuck the spout into the engine. Dollarhide climbed out to pay. The attendant seemed enthusiastic about wiping the windshield, the passenger side of the windshield. He wiped and wiped. Reba McLean sat in the high bucket seat, her legs crossed, her skirt riding up over her knee. Her white cane lay between the seats. The attendant started over the windshield. He was looking at her dress. Dollarhide glanced up from his wallet and caught him. He reached in through the window of the van and turned the wipers on high speed, batting the attendant's fingers. "Hey, watch that!" The attendant got busy removing the oil can from the engine compartment. He knew he was caught and wore a sly grin till Dollarhide came round to the van to him. "You son of a bitch." Fast over the S. "What the hell's the matter with you?" The attendant was about Dollarhide's height and weight, but he had nowhere near the muscle. He was young to have dentures. He didn't take care of them. Their greenness disgusted Dollarhide. "What happened to your teeth?" he asked softly. "What's it to you?" "Did you pull them from your boyfriend, you rotten prick?" Dollarhide stood too close. "Get away from me," quietly. "Pig, idiot, trash, fool." With one hand shove, Dollarhide sent him flying back to slam against the van. The oil can and spout clattered on the asphalt. Dollarhide picked it up. "Don't run. I can catch you." He pulled the spout from the can and looked at its sharp end. The attendant was pale. There was something in Dollarhide's face that he had never seen before, anywhere. For a red instant, Dollarhide saw the spout jammed in the man's chest, draining his heart. He saw Reba's face through the windshield. She was shaking her head, saying something. She was trying to find the handle to roll the window down. "Ever had anything broken, ass eyes?" The attendant shook his head fast. "I didn't mean no offense now, honest to God." Dollarhide held the curved metal spout in front of the man's face. He held it in both hands, and his chest muscles bunched as he bent it double. He pulled out the man's waistband and dropped the spout down the front of his pants. "Keep your pig eyes to yourself." He stuffed money for the gas in the man's shirt pocket. "You can run now," he said, "but I could catch you any time." Chapter 36. The tape came on Saturday in a small package addressed to Will Graham, CO, FBI Headquarters, Washington. It had been mailed in Chicago on the day Lowndes was killed. The laboratory and latent prints found nothing useful in the cassette case or the wrapper. A copy of the tape went to Chicago in the afternoon pouch. Special Agent Chester brought it to Graham in the jury room at mid-afternoon. A memo from Lloyd Bowman was attached. "Voice prints verify this is Lowndes. Obviously was repeating dictation. It's a new tape, manufactured in the last 3 months and never used before. Behavioral science is picking at the content. Dr. Bloom could hear it when he's well enough. You decide about that. Clearly the killer's trying to rattle you. He'll do that once too often, I think." A dry vote of confidence, much appreciated. Graham knew he had to listen to the tape. He waited until Chester left. He didn't want to be closed up in the jury room with it. The empty courtroom was better. The sun came in the tall windows. The cleaning woman had been in, and dust still hung in the sunlight. A tape recorder was small and gray. Graham put it on a console table and pushed a button. A technician's monotone. "Case number 426238, item 814, cataloged and logged." A tape cassette. "This is a re-recording." A shift in the quality of the sound. Graham held on the railing of the jury box with both hands. Freddie Lowndes sounded tired and frightened. "I have the great privilege. I have seen with wonder and awe, the strength of the great red dragon." The original recording had been interrupted frequently as it was made. The machine caught the clack of the stop key each time. Graham saw the finger on the key. Dragon finger. "I lied about him. All I wrote was lies from Will Graham. He made me write them. I have blasphemed against the dragon. Even so, the dragon is merciful. Now I want to serve him. He has helped me understand his splendor. Now I'll praise him. Newspapers, when you print this, always capitalize the H in him. He knows you made me lie, Will Graham, because I was forced to lie. He'll be more merciful to me than you, Will Graham." Reach behind you, Will Graham, and feel the small knobs at the top of your pelvis. Feel the spine between them. That's the precise spot where the dragon will snap your spine. Graham kept his hands on the railing. Damned if I'll feel. Did the dragon not know the nomenclature of the iliac spine, or did he choose not to use it? There's much for you to dread. From my own lips, you'll learn a little more to dread. A pause before the awful screaming. Worse, the blubbering, lipless cry. You promised me. Graham put his head between his knees until the bright spots stopped dancing in front of his eyes. He opened his mouth and breathed deep. An hour passed before he could listen to it again. He took the recorder into the jury room and tried to listen there. Too close. He left the tape recorder turning and went back into the courtroom. He could hear through the open door. I had the great privilege. Someone was at the courtroom door. Graham recognized the young clerk from the Chicago FBI office and motioned for him to come in. A letter came from you, the clerk said. Mr. Chester sent me with it. He told me to be sure to say the postal inspector fluoroscoped it. The clerk pulled the letter out of his breast pocket, heavy mouth stationery. Graham hoped it was from Molly. It's stamped C. Thank you. It's also paid, eh? The clerk handed him his check. On the tape, Freddie screamed. The young man flinched. Sorry, Graham said. I don't see how you stand it, the young man said. Go home, Graham said. He sat in the jury box and read his letter. He wanted some relief. The letter was from Dr. Hannibal Lecter. Dear Will, a brief note of congratulations for the job you did on Mr. Lowndes. I admired it enormously. What a cunning boy you are. Mr. Lowndes often offended me with his ignorant drivel, but he did enlighten me on one thing, your confinement in the mental hospital. My inept attorney should have brought that out in court, but never mind. You know, Will, you worry too much. You'd be so much more comfortable if you relaxed yourself. We don't invent our natures, Will. They're issued to us along with our lungs and pancreas and everything else. Why fight it? I want to help you, Will, and I'd like to start by asking you this. When you were so depressed after you shot Mr. Garrett Jacob Hobbs to death, it wasn't the act that got you down, was it? Really, didn't you feel so bad because killing him felt so good? Think about it, but don't worry about it. Why shouldn't it feel good? It must feel good to God. He does it all the time, and we are not made in his image. You may have noticed in the paper yesterday, God dropped a church roof on 34 of his worshipers in Texas Wednesday night, just as they were groveling through a hymn. Don't you think that felt good? 34. He'd have let you have Hobbs. He's got 160 Filipinos in one plane crash last week. He'll let you have a measly Hobbs. He won't begrudge you one measly murderer. 2 now. That's all right. Watch the papers. God always stays ahead. Best, Dr. Hannibal Lecter, M.D. Graham knew that Lecter was dead wrong about Hobbs, but for a half-second he wondered if Lecter might be a little bit right in the case of Freddie Lowndes. The enemy inside Graham agreed with any accusation. He had put his hand on Freddie's shoulder in the Tadler photograph to establish that he really had told Freddie those insulting things about the dragon, or had he wanted to put Freddie at risk just a little. He wondered. The certain knowledge that he would not knowingly miss a chance at the dragon reprieved him. I'm just about worn out, you crazy sons of bitches, Graham said aloud. He wanted a break. He called Molly, but no one answered the telephone at Willie's grandparents' house. Probably out in their damned motorhome, he mumbled. He went out for coffee, partly to assure himself that he was not hiding in the jury room. In the window of the jewelry store he saw a delicate antique gold bracelet. It cost him most of his paycheck. He had it wrapped and stamped for mailing. Only when he was sure he was alone at the mail drop did he address it to Molly in Oregon. Graham did not realize, as Molly did, that he gave presents when he was angry. He didn't want to go back to his jury room and work, but he had to. The thought of Valerie Leeds spurred him. I'm sorry I can't come to the phone right now, Valerie Leeds had said. He wished that he had known her. He wished. Useless, childish thought. Graham was tired, selfish, resentful, fatigued to a child-minded state when his hand's standards of measurement were the first ones he learned, where the direction north was Highway 61 and 6 feet was forever the length of his father. He made himself settle down to the minutely detailed victim profile he was putting together. From a fan of reports, and his own observation. Affluence. That was one parallel. Both families were affluent. Odd that Valerie Leeds saved money on pantyhose. Graham wondered if she had been a poor child. He thought so. Her own children were a little too well turned out. Graham had been a poor child, following his father from the boatyards in Biloxi and Greenville to the lake boats on Erie. Always the new boy at school, always the stranger. He had a half-buried grudge against the rich. Valerie Leeds might have been a poor child. He was tempted to watch his film of her again. He could do it in the courtroom. No, the Leedses were not his immediate problem. He knew the Leedses. He did not know the Jacobys. His lack of intimate knowledge about the Jacobys plagued him. The house fire in Detroit had taken everything. Family albums, probably diaries too. Graham tried to know them through the objects they wanted, bought and used. That was all he had. The Jacoby probate file was 3 inches thick, and a lot of it was lists of possessions. A new household outfitted since the move to Birmingham. Look at all this shit. It was all insured, listed with serial numbers as the insurance companies required. Trust a man who has been burned out to buy plenty of insurance for the next time. The attorney, Byron Metcalf, had sent him carbons instead of Xerox copies of the insurance declarations. The carbons were fuzzy and hard to read. Jacoby had a ski boat. Leeds had a ski boat. Jacoby had a 3-wheeler. Leeds had a trail bike. Graham licked at his thumb and turned the page. The 4th item on the 2nd page was a Shine-On Pacific movie projector. Graham stopped. How had he missed it? He had looked through every crate on every pallet in the Birmingham warehouse, alert for anything that would give him an intimate view of the Jacobys. Where was the projector? He could cross-check this insurance declaration against the inventory Byron Metcalf had prepared as executor when he stored the Jacobys' things. The items had been checked off by the warehouse supervisor who signed the storage contract. It took 15 minutes to go down the list of stored items. No projector, no camera, no film. Graham leaned back in his chair and stared at the Jacobys smiling from the picture propped up before him. What the hell did you do with it? Was it stolen? Did the killer steal it? If the killer stole it, did he fence it? Dear God, give me a traceable fence. Graham wasn't tired anymore. He wanted to know if anything else was missing. He looked for an hour, comparing the warehouse storage inventory with his insurance declarations. Everything was accounted for except the small, precious items. They could all be on Byron Metcalf's own lockbox list of things he had put in the bank vault in Birmingham. All of them were on the list, except 2. Crystal ottoman box, 4 inches by 3 inches, sterling silver lid. Appeared on the insurance declaration but was not in the lockbox. Sterling picture frame, 9 by 11 inches, worked with vines and flowers. Wasn't in the vault either. Stolen, mislaid. They were small items, easily concealed. Usually fenced silver is melted down immediately. It would be hard to trace, but movie equipment had serial numbers inside and out. It could be traced. Was the killer a thief? As he stared at the stained photograph of the Jacobys, Graham felt a sweet jolt of new connection, but when he saw the answer whole, it was seedy and disappointing and small. There was a telephone in the jury room. Graham called Birmingham Homicide. He got 3 to 11 watch commander. In the Jacoby case, I noticed you kept an in and out lock of the house after it was sealed off, right? Let me get somebody to look, the watch commander said. Graham knew they kept one. It was a good procedure to record every person entering and leaving a murder scene, and Graham had been pleased to see that Birmingham did it as well. They waited 5 minutes before a clerk picked up the phone. Okay, in and out. What do you want to know? Is Niles Jacoby, son of the deceased, is he on it? Yep. July 2nd, 7 p.m. He had permission to get personal items. Did he have a suitcase? Does it say? Nope, sorry. Byron Metcalf's voice was husky, and his breathing heavy when he answered the phone. Graham wondered what he was doing. I hope it didn't disturb you. What can I do for you, Will? I need a little help with Niles Jacoby. What's he done now? I think he lifted a few things out of the Jacoby house after they were killed. There's a sterling picture frame missing from your lockbox inventory. When I was in Birmingham, I picked up a loose photograph of the family in Niles' dormitory room. It used to be in a frame. I could see the impression of the mat left on it. Little bastard. He gave permission for him to get his clothes and some books if he needed, Metcalf said. Niles has expensive friendships. This is mainly what I'm after, though. A movie projector and a movie camera are missing too. I want to know if he got them. Probably he did, but if he didn't, maybe the killer got them. In that case, we need to get the serial numbers out the hot shops. We need to put them on the national hot sheet. The frame's probably melted down by now. He'll think frame when I get it through with him. One thing, if Niles took the projector, he might have kept the film. He couldn't get anything for it. I want the film. I need to see it. If you come at him from the front, he'll deny everything and flush the film if he has any. Okay, Metcalf said. This car title reverted to the estate. I'm the executor, so I can search without a warrant. My friend the judge won't mind papering his room for me. I'll call it. Graham went back to work. Affluence. Put affluence in the profile the police would use. Graham wondered if Mrs. Leeds and Mrs. Jacoby ever did their marketing in tennis clothes. That was a fashionable thing to do in some areas. It was a dumb thing to do in some areas because it was doubly provocative, arousing class resentment and lust at the same time. Graham imagined them pushing grocery carts, short pleated skirts brushing the brown thighs, the little balls on their sweat socks winking, passing the husky man with their barracuda eyes who was buying cold lunch meat to gnaw his car. How many families were there and 3 children and a pet, and only common locks between them as the dragon as they slept? When Graham pictured possible victims, he saw clever, successful people in graceful homes, but the next person to confront Dragon did not have children or a pet. There was no grace in his house. The next person to confront the dragon was Francis Dollarhide. Thank you. That was part 12 of Red Dragon. Thank you for listening, and good night.